Done.
Yeah.
All right. So the one challenge that we're facing, and we spoke about, just the network speed's not great up here, so we will upload a better version. So we are sitting with Brandon and Noah from Great Britain, sub-juniors, 120 and 59. Right? We'll leave that up to you, ladies and gentlemen, to decide who's who. Sorry, right, come on. Brandon, get off him. No. Cool. So, guys, tell us about yourselves. Brandon, should we start with you?
Yeah, I can do.
Cool. Right, go for it. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do? Tell us about the sport.
My name's Brandon Lee. I'm from the UK, Suffolk
You
area.
can talk to me. It's fine. Yeah. Right. Cool.
Let's go.
Yeah. What do you do for a living? Yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of train. On this
Okay. Cool. Awesome. How long have you been lifting?
I started doing it at home when I was about 14, I think. It was just sort of home stuff.
Right.
Little dumbbells, little bar, and then I got into a gym
Right.
when I was 16. It was
Okay.
a powerlifting gym. I wasn't too sure what to do at the time. I was competing in a couple different things. I was doing like martial arts and things at the time, and then I found that I wanted to change into more of the lifting style stuff, and I didn't know what sort of sports there were for that.
Right.
And I mean, conveniently, I joined a powerlifting gym
Okay.
without knowing.
Yeah.
They held a meet there. I saw some stuff that really inspired me to give it a go, and I've just stuck with it now.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant. What martial arts?
Karate, judo,
Okay.
jiu-jitsu, and Filipino.
So there's screamer stuff or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You would not be fun on the mat. No.
Probably a bit too heavy for it.
Yeah.
I was
that's
about
fine.
80 kilo when I did
Yeah,
that.
that's fantastic. All right, and Noah, how are you?
I'm good. I'm Noah Williams. I am an ex-diver, now a powerlifter.
Okay,
And,
platform.
Yeah, platform and springboard.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I study A-levels right now, so I don't really have a job. Study
Right.
maths, economics, and physical education.
Okay, cool.
And I'm in my first year of that. And then next year I have my exams.
Okay, good. How did you come to powerlifting?
I was training to be stronger for diving,
Right.
and then I ended up, preferring powerlifting. And it's
Okay.
got me a bit further.
And how does your diving coach feel about that?
Well, I've stopped now, but
Yeah, there's.
he was very strongly opinionated. on
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't like it too much.
Yeah. Coaches don't like when we go to other
Other
sports.
sports, yeah.
Yeah. All right. And how have you found powerlifting?
Really good. I've been doing it for about a year and a half.
Right.
And started competing this year and gotten all the way here within
It's great. So
5
your
months.
first year competing.
Yeah.
How many comps have you done before this?
I've done 3 comps before this.
Okay.
Two of them were
fantastic.
nationals, and then
Right.
went off to here.
Okay, brilliant. It's quite the same thing with Simon. He did national, the world champs was his 3rd comp, 3 lifts in Sweden. All right, brilliant. And
Amazing.
then, yeah, okay. So, guys, so tell me, what is it that you guys love about powerlifting?
I just think it's a cool way to sort of express your strength in a sport. That it's a lot more simple than other sports, where it's hard to gauge how good you are at other sports. Like the thing when I was doing the fighting and everything, there was no way to really compare myself to other people because I didn't know what was good, I didn't know what wasn't. I didn't really I had a few competitions with other people and that went fine, but I mean,
Right.
you don't really get milestones in the same way. You don't get to go for a certain weight. You don't get to hit certain records. You can't take things like that. Whereas
Right.
it's a bit more. I think it's more gratifying to start competing, start winning, I think I'd say lifting in general is a thing that most people are aware with. Even people that just go to the gym. Like,
Yes.
if you say you bench like 150 odd kilo, they're going to be like, wow. Even if they don't know what powerlifting is, like
Yes.
they see it. But I think it's quite gratifying to be able to like compete, take records, hit big lifts that would impress people. I think it's one of those sports that you can really show off.
Yeah. And I think you're so right, 'cause it's progressive.
Yeah.
So, the target's always there to keep yourself in it. And there's no luck.
Oh yeah.
Especially with the fighting, you can get a bad elbow on your head when you're rolling over, and now you cut and you got to stop, or you're out, and
Yeah.
you can tweak something a lot easier.
That was actually one of the reasons I switched over. There was
Okay.
a point I was competing in that, and I was lifting at home, and I got an injury from competing
Right.
in martial arts. It was a sparring tournament,
Right.
and I messed up my foot in my first fight after driving all the way from where I live about at least 150 miles, staying
Right.
there overnight. waiting around for 8 hours, did one fight, instantly got injured and couldn't walk for like a few days.
Yeah.
And I was like, the main thing that was annoying me is that I couldn't lift at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is what I care about more. And then immediately after that, I switched into lifting and then went into the powerlifting gym.
Right. It's quite funny you mention it, because I was looking for a scissor throw, and the mat we were on was old and messed up. So
Yeah.
as soon as I got hit, I tore my transverse lateral ligament, and so in the ankle, the whole ankle did that. And I went down to grab the foot instinctively. The throw came on, head on the concrete between the pits and mat, and I was like, yeah, you know what? If I want to be able to continue in sport,
Yeah. I think it was really fun, but it's very, very easy to pick up an injury.
Yeah,
I think I still miss doing it, to be honest. But I mean,
100%.
I feel like I've got a lot further doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I think
well, hello.
yeah. I think it wouldn't make sense to try it again. I think I'm happy making that choice, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm glad that I decided to do that.
And the thing is, the bar is constant. The opponent on the mat is not constant. That can be the challenge.
Things can go wrong in like half a second. Whereas
yeah.
with this, you have a lot of time to go, oh, they've changed this thing to this, I'll go under this sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas you don't get that there. You move like slightly too far to the left, the next thing you know, your foot snapped in half. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, we can stop bringing that up. And for you, Noah?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a community. I mean, it's grown massively in the last year, obviously, but I've met hundreds and hundreds of people from powerlifting alone, I think. And it's a bit different to diving, where you see them, you know, once every 3 months at a pool maybe. But
Yeah.
powerlifting, I feel like a new person messages you on Instagram every week if they see you doing something, you know, progressively better.
Right.
It's, I feel like there's a lot of support within the community. You know, everybody wants everybody to get better and do well, whereas other sports may not have the sort of incentive to encourage others as much.
Right. I think it's the one thread that's gone through all of these talks is the sense of community.
Yeah.
That everybody feels. You know, the first chat that we did, and I've mentioned it a few times, was chatting to Daniel's mum, to Judith. Just like, he loves it because he's like everyone else on the platform.
Daniel McGauley?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you know, everybody is the same.
Yeah.
The weight doesn't
everybody
care
gets
about you.
included, regardless of
Yeah.
you know, background, weight
Everybody's
class,
got
no matter
different
what.
That's it.
technique.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
everybody's different in their own sense. You know, whether they do sumo, conventional,
Yeah.
Yes.
wide grip, close grip,
Right.
it's all different.
Yeah.
think it's
Yep.
It's definitely one of the sports that includes the most amount of groups, and I find
Yep.
obviously, I mean, I've had like diagnoses and things as well. I got diagnosed with ASD when I was 8,
Okay.
and I think it was 8, around that.
Mm.
But I mean, obviously, I've had issues like communicating with people before, trying to fit in with people. But I think, obviously, no matter what gym you go to where you compete, people just take you in. I've seen
Yep.
I've seen a lot of different gyms and a lot of different things like that. They'll try and help people that are less abled in a sense, to try and push them to achieve the things they want to do in the
To
sport.
do. Yeah.
Which is still, it's really cool to have that. I think regardless of, you know, what may hold you back from doing other things, you can still get as far as you can push for here.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And the thing, I mean, right, so you guys have won gold. Right? You can flash the medals, please. Right? When you guys came over, I thought it was Christmas. And so where to from here? What are the future plans for the sport?
Got Europeans
Yes.
coming up.
Right.
I feel like that's goal number one. And then, I mean, I'm very tall for my category on
Right.
the general scale, so I'll be, by next year when I'm a junior, I'll be moving up a class or two, I think.
Okay.
Then try and get back to Worlds, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the main goal. Just continue to compete at a world level. and
Okay.
then slowly get closer and closer to the open stage.
And that's it. It's all about opens.
Yeah.
You know, that's the advantage of being my age. We're on the option side of opens. You guys are racing towards it.
Yeah.
So, and then for yourself?
I think there's a lot of things I've considered with trying to move forward now. I mean, there's a lot of, probably quite a lot of comps I've entered for the rest of this year. I mean, I haven't talked much about it, but I've entered English bench as well.
Okay.
I've entered, I mean, hopefully I get selected for European bench, and just hopefully can keep this sort of thing going with that. But
Right.
I've also got ideas. Obviously, this is my last year as a sub junior, so I need to come up with some ideas for what I want to do as a junior. Whether that means say this, maybe have a go at equipped or something like that, or
Right.
maybe change weight classes, something like that. There's a lot of options available.
Yes.
I just sort of want to weigh out which makes the most sense and which one I'd be the most successful with. But I've definitely got a lot of options open, and looking forward to trying a few different things after these next couple of comps.
Okay, fantastic. What would you say to someone in your age that was looking at considering a sport? Why should they try powerlifting?
The community's massive now. I feel like they.
I
have
think you
no
guys are
reason
over
not to.
800 affiliated lifters.
It's growing
Yeah.
a lot. recently.
Yeah.
I think there's just no reason to not start. Like, it's so much easier to do than any other sport. You literally just have to pay like a 20 quid gym membership, and then you could just go to a gym, and if you go 3-4 days a week, you'll know pretty quickly if you've got a good chance of winning, I reckon.
Right. Well, you see, there's always, you've got sub-junior, junior, open, master 1. You can target master 4s that you
Yeah.
get enough time to train. Okay, yeah, yourself?
I think it's a really good direction to go down. I've had a lot of people actually when I've sort of posted at some of my journey where I started like doing like deadlifts at like 100 kilo. That was like the first ever post I put up. I put up like 100 kilo deadlift. A bunch of people were commenting on it and things like that. And I was like, I just wanted to see what would happen. And then there's a lot of people reach out to you and
Right.
they're like sort of, how did you get into this? What do you do? What do you train? What do you eat? Do you, supplements, things like that. People ask things, and then they're like, "I want to get signed up for a comp." Things like that. I've had a lot of people sort of. I was surprised by it, but there's so many people that could just randomly message you and just ask how you do it and get interested by that. I mean, it's cool to sort of have other people that are, in a sense, inspired to do it just because I've decided to, and I think that's something that motivates me to keep going because they're looking out for me as well.
Right, 100%. I think in terms of, if you see sort of other guys your age and sort of, maybe getting into a bit of trouble, going down the wrong road, because with you guys, you're focusing on your lifting, you're focusing on your diet, your nutrition, not drinking, not late nights, not getting into trouble. Why is it that you've chosen this path? I mean, it's a silly question, but it could be something that someone's looking at. Why this path versus the, going out and partying and having more fun than is necessary? How does it feel standing on the podium with a gold medal around your neck, listening to your national anthem?
I get to say I'm number 1
in the
they
world?
they don't get to say that, and I think that's pretty gratifying to be able to say I am the best.
Yeah.
Whereas they're sat around having a drink, and I just don't think it's as good. Like how they spent their years younger.
Yeah.
Compared to me, I feel like I can look back and I can look back proud. Whereas they may look back and say, I had fun, which it's fair on them, but they don't have the same accolades and achievements.
Yeah.
Which is a big thing for me, at least.
Absolutely, and it's a wonderful thing to have on your CV.
Yeah.
When you're applying for stuff, be it a scholarship, a bursary, or a company.
You go for like a sports scholarship.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
it. Absolutely. As you said, it's up on the pedestal, or in the cupboard when you're 50 and 60, where the memory previously, the memories of the partying, it's gone.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it is kind of, how does it feel being number 1 in the whole wide world?
I mean, I'm in the books forever now.
Yeah.
Records are there to be broken, but my world title will forever be there in 2023. I think that's a pretty good thing to have.
You have achieved immortality.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's the other thing as well. Like you got to think. Obviously, it might sound like a long time living for like 80 years or so, but you get remembered for the things you do, like your legacy and things like that.
Absolutely.
There are people that did things very, very long time ago, strength sports specifically.
Yeah.
Will just not get forgotten. You gotta think, like,
Absolutely.
sort of people that setting like historical lifts and things like that, like the first ever raw 300 kilo bench press when Tom Davison did it.
Yeah.
When Ray Williams scored like 490, when Eddie Hall did the 500 kilo deadlift, things like that just get remembered. You hear their name, you see that doesn't get forgotten. It doesn't matter if they eventually.
Even
like,
Eugene Sandow, it's over 100 years ago. One of the sort of the
those
fathers
things
of
get
the modern lifting.
immortalized. Yeah. That everything you do gets chucked somewhere and it just stays there.
Which is very, very cool.
Yeah.
So, guys, I must say, really impressed with you guys are interviewing really well with your maturity. Like, really, they're sub juniors,
Especially Brandon.
Yeah.
A bit older.
You guys have been more mature than some of the people I've interviewed. Not mentioning names, but hi, Simon. I love watching him going on his little bench slippers. And he's a monster. Oh, guys, is there anything else you'd like to add before we close?
I'm number 1.
Excellent. The number 1 bench, and what number 1 as well. Well, there we go.
Someone's going to come to me later. I'm not going to. It's going to be too late.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll. What I'll do is, are you guys on WhatsApp?
Yeah.
We go, okay,
Yeah.
good. He's like, yeah, that's what the old people use. But then we'll just swap numbers, and then can you guys send me your social handles, and we'll put, when we upload it, we'll put those in.
Awesome.
All right, brilliant. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks so much. Really appreciate your time.
No problem.
It's absolutely cracker. All right.